So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So in this video is I want to actually basically talk about on the Swift Algo X how to actually configure the settings as well as my indicator called the ConFlux, which basically turns the Swift Algo X into a full functioning strategy, which actually banked me over $8,000 in profit last month and over $9,000 in profit this week. So stay tuned. Hopefully you find value in this video. All right, I'm gonna show the Swift Algo X indicator first, because I keep getting a lot of DMs on Discord about the settings of the Swift Algo X. Okay, so we're gonna go to your indicators, invite only scripts. I actually have it on my favorite, so you go to Swift Algo X, it'll be under your invite only, but I did actually saved it. So you add that to your chart. So it should look something like this. I am trading on the M and Q just for this example. So if you go to your settings tab, so if you're trading on the 5 minute time frame, it's recommended to use the 1 hour. Okay. You see this eyeball icon circling, it's loading. So the backtest setting it found was 78.95. Your current setting is 47.37. So it's basically telling me to change the multiplier to 7 and the algorithm period to 6. Because the current setting has to match the backtest setting. Okay. Um, Before we had to do it manually with backtest sets number 1 to 6, but because of that update, it now auto detects it. So you no longer have to find it manually by going through backtest set number 1 to 6. It's been removed. Now it auto detects the best settings for you. Risk to reward. I keep this as a 1 to 1. You can always change it to 1 to 2 if you want. But it will drop down. You're sitting down to like right now it dropped it down to 41.67. That's completely up to you. If you have a risk to reward of 1:2, with a minimum of 50%, I would prefer you'll still be profitable. Even with as low as 40%, you'll still be profitable. But in my own opinion, I prefer to keep this as a 1 so I can actually hit those trades a lot faster. So because with 1 to 1, it feels like I win most of my trades compared to 1:2. But that's your that's person preference. You can choose 1 to 2 or 1 to 1. I prefer to keep as 1 to 1. Email period. I usually keep this as 300 by default, but you can change it to 200 if you want. Let's say if it changed something in the settings. It's still loading. So I did drop it down to 69.57. And then if you change that to 100, let's see, loading. So it increased it by a tiny bit, 71.43%, about about 150 MA. 70%, not bad. 50%. I mean, EMA 50. So you can always actually play with this, but I usually keep mine as 300 by default. I feel like 300 works the best for me. So that's why I keep it as. Trend table size, it doesn't really matter if you change this or not. Backtest set table, this is just person preference. I keep all this as default. Calculated bars is 5,000, right? If you change this basically to 0, what happens is that it basically uses all the available bars within your plan. I have the premium plan, so therefore it's utilizing all 20,000 bars, okay? So it's going to be using more data, but it's going to drop down your win rate, okay? So let's see. We keep it as 5,000, 70%. And if you scroll back, You see how it stopped right there, okay? So it's calculating all these signals in your backtest sitting, okay? So all this, take profit, stop loss, all adds up to 78.95%. So when you change this to 0, it's using everything that's available on your plan. So you see I changed mine to 0. Now you can actually go back. It gives you more signals, more data. So you can actually see how it actually performed over the last, I guess, let's see how far back this goes. So right now we're in January 16. So see, I'm seeing data all the way back in November. So it does go back pretty far. So as you see, all of those signals adds up to basically 59.15%. But like I said, I trade futures. I do get asked how often do I check the settings. I do check it, let's say in the morning before New York session opens. I check at nighttime before I sleep. And since I live in California, the future market closes between 2 to 3 p.m. PST. So I do check it during the 1 hour closure. And some days I may change it just once per day. Some days I don't actually change it. Some days I may change it 2 to 3 times. It really just depends. Sometimes I don't change at all for a couple days. This week was all the same. I did not change one single thing this week. And if you're trading on the 15-minute time frame, then you have to change this to 4 hours. Okay? Because indicator sensitivity has to be higher than the time frame you're trading on. Just keep that in mind. So 54%. That's basically what they recommend. 5 minutes, 1 hour, 15, 4. It's what they suggest or recommend or advertise in their YouTube videos on Swift Algo's YouTube channel, but it does not mean you have to follow it. You can always experiment. Again, some traders trade on a 1 minute time frame, and they change this to 5 minutes. Still loading. So it got me 62%. And then some traders, 1 minute, you can also do 15. I would not do 1 minute and 1 hour, but you can if you want. But usually if you're trading the 1 minute, I would suggest either 5 or 50 minutes. You can see if you can trade the 1 hour, it's up to you. And I see some traders trading like on the 30-second time frame. You do need the premium plan for the 30 seconds. And then 5 minutes for the sensitivity. If you are trading gold, I see some people use trading gold on the 30-second time frame, and then the 5 minutes for gold. Back test 58.11%. That's just on M&Q. If you're trading, let's say USD, JPY, for example. I would prefer on the 50-minute time frame, and then I would probably do 4 hours for this one. If you're trading like USD, JPY, or NZD, USD, forex pairs like that, 67. I probably would do 1 to 2 if you're trading forex. I think 1 to 2 is better in terms of forex. We do like 5,000 calculated bars. So see 91.67%. So hit take profit, take profit, take profit, take profit. So it's pretty good in my opinion. Let's say if you're trading gold, this one. So like I said, play with it, experiment with it. If you're trading manually, usually the gist is buy signal, one confluence. You look at your trend dashboard, time frames, all shows bullish, 5 out of 3 bullish, check. The strength of the trend is bullish, check. Ranging, not ranging, check. all three bullish, second confluence above the EMA line. EMA is green, it's sloping upwards, check. So you enter a long trade. If it's like flat, let me show an example. Kind of if it's like flat, you probably want to avoid the trade if it's flat. But if you're trading, that's only if you're trading manually. If you're actually automating this, it only goes off all buy and sell signals only. Okay. So yeah. So gold, I recommend probably the 1 minute or 30 seconds, and there's probably 5 minutes for this one. But always test this basically on a demo account first. Don't be risking everything on a live account or personal cash account or funded account. You always want to actually test this basically on a, using fake money first. But this does work on all markets though. So, all right. So in this part 2 of the video, I'll be basically going over the my indicator called the ConFlux. Okay, so we're gonna add, it's going to be in your invite only scripts, okay? I added this to my favorites, but it's called the ConFlux. So we're gonna add that to your basically your screen. So it looks something like this, okay? So we're going to go to your settings and we're going to go to inputs, confluence requirement. We're going to keep this as single. And then long signal 1, we're going to change this to buy signal only. Okay. Make sure enable long 1 is check. Then next, we're going to go to short signal 1. Make sure you do Swift Algo X sell signal only. Make sure enable short 1 is check. Okay. So buy signal only for long signal 1. Short signal 1 should be sell signal only. We're going to skip this and come back to it later. Exit method. We're going to change this to indicator exit. Distance unit. Keep this on points. Indicator exit. Long take profit indicator. We're going to choose Swift Algo X take profit. Long stop loss indicator. We're going to choose Swift Algo X stop loss. Short take profit indicator, we're going to choose Swift Algo X take profit, and the same with short stop loss indicator, stop loss. That's all we're going to do for this one. Go to your properties. You can adjust your precision sizing there. Let's say I'm trading on NQ, 1 contract. You can adjust that to 3 contracts if you want, but I'm keeping mine as 1 contract. Keep this on quantity. Keep this on default. And then check this. You have to check on bar close. I usually keep these to check as well for backtesting purposes for the strategy report. Style tab, leave everything as is. I usually keep this unchecked because I don't need that extra data. Visibility, leave everything as is. Then hit OK. And let's actually go to M and Q for this example. Because since I only trade futures, I'm just using this as an example. So I want to actually explain to you the benefits of using the ConFlux. One of the benefits is when you're automating Swift Algo X, you have to make 4 alerts. 1 buy, 1 sell, 1 take profit, 1 stop loss. If you watch my other YouTube videos, you know what I'm talking about. And it gets really annoying because when you change something in the settings, you have to delete all 4 alerts and remake those alerts again. Okay? With this, with the ConFlux, you only have to make one alert. Okay? Because you no longer have to make the alert on the Swift Algo X, you can now make the alert on the ConFlux instead only. Because ConFlux is already connected to Swift Algo X. So you only have to make one alert now. And that's a huge deal for me because it just makes automating a lot more easier for me. Okay? That's one benefit. Second benefit is you do have access to this strategy report. So you can actually see how it actually has been performing. Okay? So you see last 7 days on one contract of M&Q was 900, 600 drawdown, 5 trades, it won 4 out of those 5 trades. Profit factor 4.559. And you can actually see the list of the trades it took. So not bad. And you can also go back last 30 days. So go to matrix. So it's still 2.6K. Take profit. P&L max drawdown was 600. It won 15 out of 19 trades, 78%. Profit factor 5.5. Total trades 19. The farthest I would do is 90 days. I would not go back no more than 90 days. It's actually updating. Give it a couple of seconds. So 4,000 P&L max drawdown 2.5K 63, not bad. I would not do no more than 90 days because it does become less accurate. The closer the dates are, the more accurate it actually is. So that's one benefit in using the ConFlux, as you can have access to the strategy report. Third benefit, you can just adjust the precision sizing within the setting tab instead on the third-party platforms such as Traders Post. I'm not sure if that actually does make a difference to you, but that's just an additional benefit. And also, you do have option to change this exit method. Let's say if you want to choose take profit stop loss only, you can choose either points or ticks. If you're trading futures, if you're trading pips, then you can choose pips right there. But let's say in this example, points, take profit, stop loss, you can adjust. Let's say you want to do 100 points and take profit, and then stop loss value 50 points. That's completely up to you. It does change it, obviously. And you do have the option to use trailing stop loss as well. So it does skip this and you go to the trailing stop loss. So once it enters a trade, for example, then if it does go against you, you will lose if it does go 30 points. And the trailing does start after it reaches 40 points profit. And then from that distance, it does become 20 points in trailing distance. So if it goes up and goes down by 20 points, it does exit the trade out. But this, you can always adjust that to your liking. And what makes my indicator different from another, alert builder strategy is that it does come with an indicator exit method, but you can only use this if the indicator has an exit alert. So Swift Algo X is a fantastic example of this because it does come with a buy, sell, take profit, stop loss. So meaning you can actually use the indicator. You can actually use the indicator exit method. You do not have to use ConFlux with Swift Algo X. You can use this basically with any indicator, but it does turn Swift Algo X from an indicator into a full functioning strategy. Because when you look, you see the symbol ConFlux is a strategy. Swift Algo X doesn't have it. It's an indicator, not a strategy. So ConFlux basically makes Swift Algo X into a full functioning strategy. You can always add a second and a third indicator for additional confluences. Okay. Let me give you an example. Let's say if you're going to be using a second confluence, You have to change this confluence requirement to double. Long second one, this is just an example. Let's say overall trend. You have to check enable long 2. This same thing. Let's say I want to do overall trend. You have to check this enable long 2. Okay. If you want to use a second or a third confluence, same thing with triple. But for me, I just keep it as single though. And we also have a time filter option. So you can, if you want to change, trade within a specific time, you can enable New York session, London, Asian session, and you can now officially force close at the end of the session. This would only benefit mostly future traders who trade prop firms. Okay. And you can also do enable max trades per day. This probably doesn't really make a huge difference with Swift Algo X because if you're trading M and Q, it only takes like 1 or 2 trades a day anyways. So I don't think this would be beneficial with Swift Algo X. There's also daily profit limit and daily loss limit as well. But I only recommend this in the prop firm or broker settings because this does not take in consideration with slippage or trading view delays. So it's not going to be accurate. So I wouldn't recommend using this, but it's completely up to you though. See, one of the negative things about Swift Algo X is that it does sometimes gives these really wide stop loss and take profit zones, which is actually quite unfortunate. Because if you are trading like a prop firm, you do have to close at the end of the session. If it doesn't hit these two, which kind of sucks. And if you're trading futures, I only recommend doing micros, like one contract. Because the reason why is because if it does go against you, you can lose a lot of money. It's good if it does go, with you, but it's actually a risk. And just to give you an example, if you want to using the strategy report, let's say if you want to trade gold, if you go to your strategy report, you can probably still use points with gold still. Properties tab, this will be based on lot size. So let's say you want to do 0.03 lot size. You have to use your lot size before you actually automate, okay? But it's not going to be accurate in the strategy report. It goes by unit. So 0.03 is actually the same thing as saying 3. So you need to change this to 3 if you want to see the strategy report. So see list of trades, so 89, 46, 71, see 113, 74, 122. So these trades are accurate because I did demo test this and my trades were basically the same as these. Now, if you're trading USD, JPY, forex, principle is almost the same. Go to inputs, you have to change this basically to pips. Honestly, this only makes a difference if you're using take profit stop loss, but we're actually using indicator exits, so it doesn't really make a huge difference. But properties, principle is still the same. If you're trading lot size, let's say 0.8, you have to use this for the strategy, okay? Change this to USD. It's loading. So see how it's not that accurate, but you have to do this once you're automating. But if you want to use the strategy report, they go off units. So 0.8 is the same thing as saying 80,000 units. So these are the trades. So see 200, 140, 230. I did demo test it. It was pretty much almost the same, but you can experiment with this. This was $300. So yeah, but you can always play with it, but that's how it basically uses the strategy report. But like I said, I usually trade M and Q. So yeah. All right. So I did trade basically one contract of NQ basically this week on my personal cash account on Tradeovate. So I'm gonna be showing that to you right now. I did downloaded my strategy report PDF file. So we're gonna look at all the trades it took. Okay. So this is my strategy report, right? So the last trade it took was this one. But I did actually close my trade out. Because it almost hit take profit, but didn't. But I did look at the trade at the time and I did close it out. So 1.3, I closed it out almost $2,000. That was my last trade on Friday. Next trade, I got 2.8k. And this was 2.8k. So see how it's almost exactly the same. And then my next trade I won was $4,000. 4.2k. I actually ended up getting more. So see how it's almost the same. And see 2.6k. I did had one losing trade. 2.6. I actually lost more. 2.7k. And then I did want my first trade of the week. 2.6k. That was 2.9k. I ended up getting more. So see how it's almost the same. So see, this was January 16. Oh, my bad. Actually, oh no, this was reverse. My bad. So January 16 down there. See, January 14 took the trade. Two trades on January 14, and then January 13 right there. So I ended up ending $11,000 in profit basically this week with only one loss, one losing trade, won 4 out of 5 trades. So I end up getting over $9,000 in profit just this week alone. So I'm on TradeVay personal cash account. So yeah, but you can experiment with it. Just letting you know, the link for the ConFlux will be in my YouTube description. There is no free trial, and there's not going to be no refunds. All sales are final. It's only $15 per month. You can, and you do have access to my Discord channel, and I will actually help you, coach you, do one-on-one assistance with you, as well. And the link for the Swift Algo X indicator will also be in my YouTube description as well. And I do upload weekly videos every weekend. On my next weekend, I'll be basically giving an announcement on some of the indicators I'm currently developing at the moment. So I'll be making that announcement as well. And just to show you more of the backtest data on one contract of NQ, if you go back 7 days. So yeah, it's still pretty good. Won 3 out of 4 trades last 30 days. See, trade for 1,000 with $6,000 in drawdown last 90 days. So 62. So it's been above 60%. So it's actually been performing really well over the last couple of months. But yeah, but like I said, ConFlux, you don't have to use it with Swift Algo X. You can use it with any indicator. It basically turns any indicator into a full functioning strategy. So you can actually use like 2 or 3 indicators in order to produce a signal. So once 3 indicators, for example, meets the criteria, it produces the signal. Okay. and same thing with the short. So that will be the end of this video. So if you do like this video, just leave a like, subscribe, and comment. I do upload weekly videos every weekend. And if you do purchase my ConFlux, you do get access to myself, the Discord, and the ConFlux indicator as well, which can be used with any indicator out there. And I'll be doing one-on-one coaching with you, all for $15 per month. And the Swift Algo X indicator is also going to be in my YouTube description. Both links down below. And that's it for this video, and catch you guys next week. Peace.